Hey vinyl community, Joe here. It's been a while since I've made a video, and just coincidence that last year at this time I created my channel, and one of the first few videos that I posted up was the vinyl tag put on by Mr. Pretty Green Vinyl Guy. I believe is his name, Edwin, and really enjoyed it. And I know there was some controversy because he put his out kind of early, I guess. I really don't know what the big deal is. I think it's kind of just made up drama, to be honest with you. But anyways, David Atkinson put out his vinyl tag in December, and I got the questions pretty early. Been thinking about them, been trying to get my answers down to what I want them to be, and I believe I'm there, or as far as I want to go with it. To be honest with you, I really enjoy these tags. And like I said, let's just jump right into it. So I'm going to look over here at the screen. I'm not doing something weird, but I've got the questions up on my screen so I can keep my the right order and don't get messed up, which is easy for me to do. So the first question is, show your best vinyl or other format musical purchase of 2025. Well, that will have to be this album right here, put out by the Black Keys. And this is a test pressing of Brothers. And this is the Record Store Day that came out, I believe it's come out in 2010, I believe. And this is the test pressing of that album. And it's double album, and it comes with a 10-inch EP. I love the Black Keys, love their blues, rock sound, and this is probably my favorite album of theirs. And I picked this up. This is double 45 RPM plus the 10 inches 45 RPM, and it has a killer sound to it. Picked this up off of Whatnot from Mr. Yo Nicky. If you're familiar with Whatnot and you know who Yo Nicky is. If you're not, you need to get on the app. Some great finds on there, some great sellers on there, just all around great people on there, whether they're selling or buying. So that's my favorite purchase of 2025, this test press of that Record Store Day of the Black Keys Brothers. Second, share your favorite live musical experience of 2025? Well, 2025, I did not have really any per se live experience. I've seen some live bands locally, but my best experience is I signed up for nugs.net, and I'll put a description in down below. But usually every time this year they give a discounted rate for Christmas or the New Year. And I've really been enjoying watching some live performances on there. They have Tedeschi Trucks Band, Government Mule, Goose, Fish is on there. They have Metallica, they have Pearl Jam, and that's just to name a few. I mean, I could go on and on and on. But you really need to check out nugs.net. Great sound, audio, soundboard quality audio, and the video is top notch. And for a very reasonable price. If you're into concerts, if you're into live streams, you can't beat the price of a yearly subscription, or even if you pay monthly, compared to actually the price of going to a concert. So check it out. That's my favorite live experience of 2025 is nugs.net. Number 3, your vinyl record collection in 10 years' time. Is it bigger, smaller, or about the same? Explain why. Bigger because I've only just began in the last 4 years collecting records. And it's going to be bigger, but really it's going to be better because I'm going to be more selective in what I keep on vinyl. Because I'll be honest with you, most of what I collect is blues rock, or blues adjacent. And the rest I'm happy with streaming or having it on CD. I don't need everything on vinyl. And I'm happy with that. And that's the beauty of having the ability to stream music, whether it be nugs.net or YouTube or Spotify, or having it on a file on your computer. We have so many different options that don't have to have it necessarily on vinyl. I really like SACDs, and I really like Blu-ray audio that they're coming out with, or Quadio that Rhino has. So we have so many different options, and I really want to get my vinyl collection down to those things that I really, really love. And so mine's going to be bigger, but more better than bigger, if that makes any sense. So, all right, question number 4. You move into a new home. You play one record turned up to 11. to announce your arrival. What is it and why? Well, that has to be Freddie King, Getting Ready. Probably my favorite blues guy of all time. Tremendous guitar player. His vocals are out of this world. And this dude puts everything he has into every lick and every note, every song, every word that he sings. I just love everything about it. This is a original copy on that uh, awesome. It's on that awesome Shelter label, but you don't have to get an original. You can get an acoustic sounds version of it that Chad Casson put out, and this thing is fabulous. This thing probably sounds better than the original. But this is what I'd put on and I would crank. This is an album that you just crank. It's got some killer songs on it. We got Leon Russell playing piano and guitar, Don Preston. Uh, just a killer album. So that's the one I'd turn up to 11. Show two albums, one each for your favorite male and female singers. Well, here's the problem. I don't have an actual copy of either of these two, but I'm going to remedy that in 2026. So my favorite female singer is Susan Tedeschi from the Tedeschi Trucks Band. Susan's soulful sound, fantastic, probably one of the best guitarists out there today, still performing. If not, she's probably one of the best female guitarists out there. And my top male singer is Chris Stapleton. And I do not have either of those on vinyl or CD, but I listen to both of those artists all the time. So Susan Tedeschi is my favorite female, and my favorite male will be Chris Stapleton. All right, number 6. We like to have fun here. Show your top 3 soul dance records. I have quite a few soul. I'm not a huge dancer. I'm not very good at dancing. If I get a few drinks in me, and I will get out on the dance floor and embarrass myself and make other people laugh, but I always have a good time. But let's see, 3. If I had to pick 3, one would have to be Whitney Houston, and the one track on here, I Want to Dance with Somebody. This is Whitney Houston, Whitney. Fantastic album. Another one will be Bill Withers, Still Bill, iconic, soulful album. I mean, you got the track Lean on Me and some other killer soulful songs. And another one of my favorite would be Tyrone Davis. Just picked this up this year. Was this Can I Change My Mind? I mean, you got some killer songs. She's Looking Good, Knock on Wood, Let the Good Times Roll. I mean, this dude, soulful singing, great sounding album. Check this dude out. So those are my 3. A real stinker. Nominate a track you hate from an album you love. Well, there's not too many songs that I hate. I mean, I'm not a musician. I can't play a guitar or sing very well. So who am I to say I hate a song? But I will say this: my wife absolutely hates one song, and every time that song plays, she says I have to turn it or turn it down. And it's off of this album right here. It's Bob Dylan's Bringing It Back Home, and the track. I love this album, and the track that's on here that my wife hates is Maggie's Farm. She cannot stand that song. She says you got to turn it off or skip it. If you had to pick only one album, this is question number 8. If you had to pick only one album from each of the last 6 decades, what would they be? There's tons of albums I could choose, but I just started going through my collection and just looking at different albums from different decades, and I just picked them. One of my favorite blues guys from the 60s, this came out in 1960s, John Lee Hooker, Traveling'. This is a beautiful copy, mono copy. It's on that Rainbow label, VJ. I'm doing this for Mazzy. I took all the sleeves out. I took all the records out of the sleeves, and I'm showing the record label just for you, man. So that's John Lee Hooker, Traveling', fantastic album. It's got Whiskey and Women fantastic song. Canal Street Blues, Going to California. If you've never listened to this, listen. All right, so that was from the 60s, from the 70s, another blues album. It's on the Arhoolie label, one of my favorite labels. This is Hooker and Steve. This is Earl Hooker and Steve Winwood, not the Steve Winwood or Steve Miller, not the Steve Miller you're thinking of. It's another Steve Miller, and he's from the band. I can't think of the name. It's left me. I'll put it in the description below. But this is a killer album, and it's got a great, authentic, raw sound that Arhoolie's known for. And this is John Lee Hooker's cousin, Earl Hooker. Fantastic blues guy. Doesn't have the strong voice that John Lee Hooker did, but one of the best guitarists that you'll ever listen to. So that's from the 70s, Hooker and Steve. Next one we got is from the 80s. Not a big 80s music fan, but this came out in the 80s, and I'm a big fan of this guy. This is Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble, Texas Flood. Got this on SACD. The SACD will blow you away. All right, so that's from the 80s, from the 2000s. Another blues album, Kenny Wayne Shepherd, Going Home. This is a double album. Got some killer people on this. It is a gatefold. Got some great photos there on the inside the gatefold. But he's got, who else has he got? Who does he have? Warren Haynes is on here. From Government Mule, Kev Moe, Ringo Starr is on here. Robert Randolph is on here. Joe Walsh, Kim Wilson. This dude is a guitar guru, along the same lines as Derek Trucks, just a guitar master. Joe Bonamassa, if you like those guys, you'll like Kenny Wayne Shepherd. So that's from the 2000s. All right, from 2010, got to pick the Black Keys. This is their album, Brothers. Fantastic album, awesome sound out of Muscle Shoals Studios there. So that's my one from 2010. That's question number 8. All right, you get the opportunity to spend one day alone with one artist, walking a mountain trail, the beach, or hanging out in the city. Who would that artist be? I would have to say, I was thinking about picking Bob Dylan, in which I would love to spend a day with Bob Dylan, the enigma, the fascinating man that he is. But the one guy that I think I would like to spend a day with that probably would be more realistic for me, that would actually happen, would probably be Derek Trucks from the Tedeschi Trucks Band. They live not far from me. He's huge background in the Allman Brothers Band, whom I love. I'm in the state of Georgia. Allman Brothers are, predominantly from Macon, but they played here back in the 70s quite a few times in my area. And I'm really intrigued by Derek, his ability to play the guitar. He's kind of a quiet guy. You don't hear him talking much, but I would like to spend a day with him and just really hang out, really try to get to know him better, because you just can't really get to know him from what I've seen on video and through concerts. He's kind of a soft-spoken guy, but I really would like to hang out with him. What would be your must-ask question? I don't really have a must-ask question. I would just like to hang out with the guy. I think he's fascinating. I think he's probably one of the best guitar players, if not probably the best slide guitar player today. And I know some people have different opinions on that, but that's just my opinion. So question number 11. Show a record that contains a track that always brings a tear to your eye. Or are you a heartless bastard? No, I'm not a heartless bastard. I don't believe. But the one song that I always think of, and when it always comes on, it makes me think of my mama, because when she passed away, this was one of the tracks that I read at her funeral. One of the some lyrics off of this song, and it's Bob Dylan, Blood on the Tracks, and the song is, let's see if it's on side one, the last track on side one. You're gonna make me lonesome when you go. So every time I hear that song, every time I play that song, it makes me think of my mama, and really do miss her. And it's true. I've been lonesome ever since the day she left. But let's see. Lost my place here. See, I'm glad I got my list here. So show 3 albums from artists you tried to love, but you're questioning why you even bother. All right. So I don't have these 3. And I've listened to the music, and it's just not for me. It's not saying it's not good music, but it's not something I need in my collection. Will I listen to them? Yeah. Do I listen to them on occasion? Yeah. My wife likes them, but they're just not for me. So let's see. The 3 would be Billy Joel, Bruce Springsteen, and Genesis. They're just not for me. I've tried. I've listened to different albums, and it's just not for me. Number 13, show an album from an artist whose character disappoints you, or can you separate the artist from the art? I can separate the artist from the art. Now, do I believe sometimes artists do stupid things, say stupid things, and probably should maybe keep their mouth shut sometimes? Yeah, but I mean, they're people too, and they have the right to say whatever they want to say. Now, it doesn't mean there's going to be not consequences from that, but I can separate the art from the artist. I'm not one that's not going to listen to an artist just because I don't like their character or like what they say or do. Now, I might not listen to them because I just don't like the music. That's one or the other. If you had to sell all of your vinyl along with your record player, show the one album you would hold on to as a keepsake. It'd have to be this one, the one I just put down on the floor. Be the Bob Dylan Blood on the Tracks. This is the first album, first vinyl record that I ever purchased. This is not an original copy. It's just a newer reissue. Purchased this before I even had a record player. And this is the first record I played on a record player that my mom bought me a record player. And this is the one I put on there. So if I sold everything, I'd keep this. Number 15, we got 5 more. Discuss your VC highlight of 2025. If that's a video, link to it. But it could be a meetup or some event. Well, I'll put a link to it down below. But it was my friend Brandon Finley who opened Bearded Vinyl down in McClenny, Florida. He opened a store a few years ago, but he opened a new location, a bigger location, a nicer location, toward the end of last year, 2025. And I actually drove down. It's about an hour away from me. Drove down there for the day for the grand opening. I took some photos. I was going to take some video, but he had quite a few people in there, and I'm not real big on taking video of people I don't know. But anyways, I'm going to go back and I'm going to take more video of that with him at his store. But I'll put a link down in the description below. But that was my highlight of 2025 of a person in the vinyl community. He's not per se in the vinyl community on YouTube, or at least not yet. Well, but that was a meetup that I really enjoyed participating in. Number 16, name your favorite musical biopic if you have one. I would have to say that'd be the Bob Dylan one that came out last year. Didn't it come out last year? Yeah, almost certain. A Complete Unknown. Really enjoyed that. I'm not a huge documentary person, but I really enjoyed that one, and I've probably seen a few other music biopics, but that was probably my favorite one, or at least to this point. Number 17, give 3 reasons why jazz matters and show a favorite album. Well, I believe jazz matters because it's authentic, it's intellectual, and it's challenging. There's all different types of jazz music, and it can be a challenge to listen to it, but it also can challenge you to broaden your musical listening experiences. And I've had some jazz that I've really liked. I've had some jazz that I really hadn't liked. But that's the same with all music. I'm going to show some of my favorites. Root Down, Jimmy Smith Live. Picked this up a few years ago now. and didn't know that it was an original copy, didn't know that it was a desirable copy, but I put it on and was really blown away. This is a fantastic, groovy, funky jazz album. It's on the Verve label. I know they've had a recent reissue, and I'd like to get I'd like to pick up the reissue just to see what it sounds like, because this one sounds fantastic. So that's one. Yeah, I'm probably going to butcher this name. This Charles Mingus Ahum, I believe is possibly how you say that. Um, I listened to on Google how to pronounce that a while back, and I think I kind of got it, but I've done forgotten. This is a Columbia 6i, but that's my two. Will be, and I have more jazz. Not a huge jazz collection, but I have a few jazz, and these are two of my favorite ones: Root Down Jimmy Smith and Charles Mingus Ahum, Ahum, however you say that. All right. Give three reasons why. All right, just done that. Jazz matters because it's authentic, intellectual, and challenging. Number 18, you're an innocent man on death row. They give you one last musical request. What do you ask for? Well, um, the first thing that popped in my mind was a Townes Van Zandt song. And unfortunately, I got rid of all my reissues, so I don't have one to show you. I want to get some more reissues. I gave them away this year and don't have, I'd like to get some original copies, but they're hard to come by. But Townes Van Zandt's song, Waiting Around to Die, that's what I would play if I was sitting on death row. I think it's appropriate. Waiting Around to Die. It's a killer song. It's a it's a soul searching song, and really listen to that song. Townes Van Zandt was a troubled man, but he was a fantastic songwriter, and a lot of people don't really give him the credit that he's due, I believe. And a lot of people don't even really know who he is. But if you know Poncho and Lefty, you know who Townes Van Zandt is, because he wrote that song. But that's what I'd play on death row, would be Waiting Around to Die. Sell your favorite artist to a new listener. Show one essential album and explain why they should make time for this artist. Well, I hated this guy growing up. I could not stand his voice. I could not stand his music. He just irritated me. But when I got Spotify, started diving into music, listening to different blues guys, and I went down the path of Mr. Bob Dylan. And he is my favorite solo artist of all time right now. But he's a very interesting fellow. He's a very fascinating fellow. He's an enigma, but he's also a fantastic songwriter. He loves the blues, and that's why one of the reasons why I love Bob Dylan. And if I would try to sell this artist on somebody, these are the three albums that I would push them to first. First, this pivotal album, Bringing It All Back Home, when Bob Dylan officially goes electric on an album. This one, followed by, it leads into this one, Highway 61, iconic cover, and got John Hammond playing guitar on this one. You got Michael Bloomfield playing guitar on this one, which leads into this last one. And this is probably one of my favorite Dylan albums. All three of these are original monos, but you don't have to get monos. You get reissues of these. They're out there. But the covers are fantastic. The artwork's fantastic. The sound is fantastic. It may take you some time to get used to his voice, used to his music, but there's no other person out there, no other artist out there, in my opinion, today or ever, that really has put out the sound and the music that Bob Dylan has. He really makes you think. He really gets you to the point where you're wondering, okay, what does he mean by this? And I really enjoy his music. So that's the person I would sell to somebody a new listener to Bob Dylan, or maybe somebody that's given Bob a try, but really, it's not working. But those are the three albums I would push on them. You're arranging, question number 20. You're arranging a VC meetup in 2026, excluding those you've already met. Invite 3 people you most like to meet. All right. Well, 2 of these I've met via Whatnot. There are these. One channel is one person, and the other channel, they have a YouTube channel. It's actually 3 guys. So I'm going to cheat a little bit. So channel 910, Johnny and Retta, fantastic people. Johnny loves the Beatles, and he has a YouTube channel. I'd love to meet Johnny and Retta. And then you have 3 Men on the Record, new channel that just came out last year. They've been doing a lot of live streams. They haven't made any videos yet. I don't know why, but they haven't made any standalone videos yet. They're supposed to. They keep saying they're going to. But anyways, we got Jake, Sean, and Scott from 3 Men on the Record. And the last person I'd like to meet would be Marty in Oregon. He has a channel, and I'll put a list of all these channels down below. But I'd like to meet these 3 channels, even though I've cheated on this question a little bit. So those are my answers to the unofficial, official vinyl tag with 2026 put on by Mr. David Atkinson. Thank you for putting up with me. Again, Joe from Georgia. Talk to you soon.